about 140 degrees right there near the top. And I think it might be hot enough to cook an egg if I leave it in there long enough. Do you want to see a man eat an egg that has been cooked in a pile of wood chips and nothing else? Of course you do. But first, we gotta give him a soul, right? There we go. He has a soul now. And it's gotta have a name. He's Egbert. And he spends too much time thinking about how the dreams that he had in the past are at odds with the somewhat pleasant life that he currently leads. So let's put him in here, see if he cooks. I'm gonna level with you guys. I tried this earlier with moderate success, but not great success. And I think this time, a lot of steam coming out of there. I had a little lingerie for him last time attached to a rope so I could easily pull him back out. This time we'll just bury him right here. I'm gonna leave this thermometer in so we know he's right above the thermometer, just above and to the right a little bit. We'll come back for Egbert in maybe 24 hours. See how he's doing. All right, let's go check on our buddy Egbert. Maybe dig him up, eat him. Maybe eat him. I might not eat him. It's been about 48 hours. Not quite 48 hours. This is not the most sanitary way to cook an egg. Should probably just go ahead and say that. I mean, I think it's kind of, obvious. Don't do this. All right, what do we have here? Still hanging at about 140 degrees. Man, I feel the warmth radiating off of this thing. Very hot. A lot of steam coming out of there. Oh, I see him. There he is. Not broken. Unbreakable Egbert. What you put in the ground is not necessarily what comes back out of the ground. Sometimes it's edible. Very warm. Very, very warm to the hand. Does feel like it just came out of a pot of water or something. This might be cooked. Okay, so back in the workshop with old Egbert here. Gave him a quick rinse inside. And we're gonna open him up and see if he's cooked. Now, just to be clear, this is not a safe thing to eat. So I may not even eat it. We'll see how it looks inside. Quite soft, but not pure liquid. Sorry, Egbert. This was your destiny, though. Ooh. Actually, it is quite liquidy in there. This is going to be I think this is a pretty raw egg. Don't think it was quite hot enough in there to cook this thing properly. I'm just gonna dump those shells off for right now. I wonder if the yolk has set, even though it really looks like the whites have not set. Let's go ahead and just pop this open. Yeah, so the whites have not fully set. They are still very, very soft. I am not going to eat that, I don't think. That looks pretty gross. The smell, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like it's gone bad. I mean, there's an eggy smell, but it's an egg. But that yolk, look how it's standing up like that. I'm pretty sure that yolk is at least partially cooked. We'll cut into that. Yeah, look at that. I know some people aren't a fan of eggs in general, and some people aren't a fan of runny eggs and things like that, but that yolk has somewhat set. I am going to give that yolk a little taste, but I'm not going to eat this egg fully. The yolk tastes like a soft-boiled or you know, sort of sunny side up kind of egg. I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to eat any more than that because this egg was not cooked at a sterilizing temperature. In fact, it was cooked at a that yolk is actually very delicious now. It was cooked at a sort of incubating temperature. I mean, it was cooked by a combination of bacteria and fungal exothermic heat. I mean, it was cooked on the heat of bacteria. So, yeah. But that is, I mean, that is a fairly set yolk. That is not runny. That is solid. So, almost a success. I bet if I revisit this experiment and did it with, like grass clippings or something like that, just a big old pile of grass clippings, and did it the moment that they were fresh, put the egg in, I bet that would get hot enough to cook one like solidly, and probably within like not 48 hours like this. So we'll revisit this in the future, but yeah, not gonna eat the rest of that. Came really close to cooking that egg though. Well, that was fun, and hope you learned something about eggs, decomposing wood chips. I didn't. I have more questions now than when I started. I don't understand why the yolk set, why the yolk was firm, but the whites weren't. I thought, well, maybe contrary to popular belief, the yolks actually set at a lower temperature than the whites, and it's just the fact that we're normally cooking with a lot of heat directly on the egg for a very short period of time, so the whites just kind of get blasted on the heat's way into the egg to cook the yolk, and that maybe the pile was kind of hanging out at that temperature between when the yolk sets and when the whites set. But it's actually the other way around. The yolks apparently set at about 150 degrees, and the whites start to set at about 144 degrees. So it's still, the whites still should have cooked first. And they started to. All of it started to. So I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe it's just that simple matter of time. You know, that was about 44 hours at 140 something degrees. Apparently probably about 145-ish degrees. So if any of you out there have any idea what happened, please help. Let me know in the comments. I don't understand. My reasoning failed when I did the slightest bit of research afterwards. And so, yeah, anyway, other than that, the only thing we can do is continue to experiment. And so if you guys are not mad at me for making you watch a man cook an egg essentially in a compost pile and then take a nibble of it, come back for more. We'll do it again in the future. I really think I could cook one fully and properly in a pile of grass clippings, because I've seen those grass clipping piles get up to 170, 180 degrees easily. So yeah, we'll do it again, but let me know what you know. Thanks.